And I think they're also freaking out because they know the demographics of the state. They see what's happening. The only reason they're able to do this is because the impact that all of this gerrymandering has in suppressing the vote in Black and brown districts. Overall, Black and Hispanic districts have a voter participation rate that's 10% than other districts throughout the state, and that's because there's fewer dollars that are spent on voters in these districts. When there's a perception that it's an overall safe district, there aren't a lot of competitive elections that happen. There are fewer voters that are reached out to. Compare that to the millions that are spent by Republicans, right? Because they have. Abbott has $100 million at his disposal. Lieutenant Governor has $50 million. All of that money can trickle down to their districts to really drive up turnout. That's why you have almost like a 70% participation rate among white Texans, but only like a 45% participation rate in Hispanic communities. And that's what we need to overcome. There's a registration gap in Hispanic and Black communities. There could be about another 800,000, Hispanic voters who could be registered. We're going to have to make that a number one priority moving forward, to help close these gaps. And once we get those registered voters, we're going to then have to focus on turnout. We can no longer afford to have Hispanic communities, having a 45% turnout rate while white Texans have a 70% turnout rate. Unfortunately, those are the consequences of gerrymandering.
Correct. And what do you see like beyond Texas now that this stop for the Voting Rights Act has been essentially pulled up?